Hey y'all, we are live. Welcome to Balikbayan, returning home. We're so excited to have you all here. I'm Masood. I'll be your tour guide, narrator, and GM for our game. If you don't know what Balikbayan is, it's a narrative tabletop role-playing game heavily inspired by Filipino mysticism and culture that gives everyone at the table equal creative opportunity. Specifically, it's a story about elementals, beings of supernatural Filipino folklore come to life. And we'll jump right back into where we were, but first, I have to talk about my wonderful, incredible cast. We are all members of Chicago's Stir Friday Night, America's oldest all-Asian theater and comedy troupe. We've been around for over 25 years, performing primarily in Chicago, but also all over the U.S. We've got Community's own Danny Pudi, Mary Sohn from AP Bio, and Stephen Yoon as some of our notable alumni. And we are all here today, so excited to play Balikbayan for you all. Let's just go around the group and introduce ourselves once again, and tell us who you are, who you're playing, pronouns, and what's the question for today? What is the question? I'm gonna steal. No, that's too dark. TK asked a very dark question yesterday, and I don't trust you all to answer it. It was tough. It was tough. I'll say it afterwards, but let's see. If you could complete simple basic tasks while you slept, but lose the ability to sleep. Like, you'd close your eyes, you would no longer dream, but you'd close your eyes and you'd be able to, like, do simple basic tasks. What would you do in your 6 to 8 hours? And for this one, I'm going to throw it to Joan. So tell us who you are, your character, pronouns, and answer my question. Oh, Joan, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Joan. I am living in Evanston, doing nothing. And my character is a tikpalang. My name is Little. I'm a shapeshifter, and I can change into animals. And if I had to pick okay, so I don't do the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to be unconscious and just walk around my kitchen and do the dishes at night because I hate doing it so much.
Yo, the dishes are truly the worst thing that needs to get done. Like that, they have to get done, and it sucks doing them.
I know, I hate it.
I know. There's this quote by Tiet Nhat Khan that says you should wash the dishes to wash the dishes, and I get it. I get it, but really though, that sucks. I got better things to do with my time. Sorry. Up next, Harrison.
Hi, everybody. I'm Harrison Hatton, he, him, his. I'm playing Ambo, the Golden Hammer of Baguio, and I'm a duende. My special ability is building stuff. Let's see. So if I could close my eyes, does it have to be a chore? Could I do something else?
It's basic. It's simple, basic activity. So whatever that defines for you. So it doesn't have to be a chore. It can be whatever you.
Can I learn how to code?
I think it's tough to learn
Erica?
something that's expansive like that. I think if you were to practice the same basic thing over and over again, like if you coded the same thing over and over again, I think you could do that. But to do something innovative, I think requires more intellectual capacity. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess then I would do my laundry. This is where I said laundry. It's just washing all those clothes, folding. It just takes so much time out of your day. Yeah, I'd rather be asleep doing it.
I think folding laundry for me, because that takes the longest. Like putting everything and just doing that, and it's just shit, well, I'm just gonna watch TV, and then it takes longer because I get distracted. But yeah. Up next, Shu.
Hi, my name is Shu, and I'm also doing nothing every day. My character is Luzon, and she is a Dewata, which is an ancient elemental of the 4 primary elements. Unfortunately, she was set free by a social light named Angel Moon, and the two have fused together, so that's been a very interesting journey for Luzon to take. Masood, I have no idea what the kind of question this is.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to sit here and think like, what's like something super mindless that I hate doing that I would like to do while I'm sleeping? And I think mine is deal with mail. I hate mail. I hate the physicalness of like opening it, being like, oh, this is all garbage, none of this means anything.
Yeah.
And just like cutting it up and throwing it away. And it, for some reason, it doesn't take very long, but it just like weighs on my psyche. So I have this giant pile of mail that I haven't gotten to, and we'll see when I get to it.
I like that. That's a good, like, just like doing correspondence. I'd like, if like, I wonder if I could clean my inbox. That might be something that would be, you know what I mean? Like I'd say like, if you know it's trash, you can like, maybe that's mindless enough. Usher, what about you?
Hi, Fresh, she, her. My character is named Alien, and Alien is an Uswang, which, yeah, Alien's like an ex-soldier with like a lot of bloodlust. That's her deal. She loves to kill, and don't we all? Just kidding. I'm kidding. No one laughed. Okay. Anyway, something mindless I like to do, and I was gonna dishes also, but it's taken. So maybe like organize my room. I feel like I always have stuff I need to take to donate and like brew, and I'm so lazy about it, so I just collect them in piles. So while I was asleep, I would love to have that taken care of.
That could be like, yeah, it's just like you pick it up, open the door, walk to where the bin is, put it away, and walk back. That'd be nice. Or like even like, I have like a lot of old clothes that I've been meaning to like just clean the clutter through, because I'm not wearing them. It's like, might as well. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Ben?
Hi, I'm Ben Cummings. He, him, his. I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing something most of the time. My character's name is Mr. Ferryman. He's a Santelmo, which means that he's a ghost robot in the future. Get with the program. He is also he, him, his. And yes, he can speak to the dead, etc. Got no eyelids. Okay, as to this question, I have a lot of opinions having seen everybody talk about it. Sounds like everyone's just making a list of the things that are piling up around the house for them to do that they would. These are all one-time things. You get 6 to 8 hours to sleep and do a repetitive task. Dishes take 20 minutes. You go through the mail once and then you'll be caught up. I think it's got to be something that's repetitive. You do all the time, right? So I got to work out. You got to just do some simple curls. Yes, Erica was going to say that, but she didn't because I went first. You do some curls, do some flies. Nothing complex. Not doing high intensity interval training.
Yeah. Just like a few hundred push-ups if possible. Yeah. Oh, just 8 hours to do it, you know.
You want to do 8 hours of curls?
Yeah, if I'm sleeping through it and I don't remember it, sure.
Wait.
When you wake up, aren't you going to be in so much pain?
You'll be so
First couple nights.
And then you get used to it.
You don't get...
It happens when you sleep.
Yeah.
Also, like 20 minutes of dishes? Like, do you know how many hours of dishes I have to go through for just one meal? All right, there are 4 side dishes, a soup, a main entree course, usually some kind of like...
Okay, but if you were sane,
yes,
it would be 20 minutes.
If I did dishes every day in a very regular manner, maybe 20 minutes. But I don't know. I like the idea of working out. I think we can give it. Why don't we give it the option that you can change your workout as your body?
Yeah, you could just walk for 8 hours. You would be 0% body fat at the end of that.
But I still think. But I still have to agree with Harrison.
Where are you going to be walking? You're asleep.
Yeah. Also, it's COVID. Don't walk.
You can walk around your apartment. You're not going to be awake for it. Doesn't matter.
Your neighbors are going to hate your downstairs or upstairs neighbors are going to
in circles all night. 8 hours.
Listen, I've cracked the code on this riddle. So
my neighbor has this crazy dog. For 8 hours, just walks around at night.
And then during the day, he must be so exhausted because he just lays down and moans in pain as how sore his body is. I don't know. I kind of like I hate to say it. There are times I like being awake for the workout. There are times I enjoy the movement and the like exertion of it. So I don't know if I'd want to be asleep through it for me.
Well, great. It wasn't asked to you.
Fair. I'm just having conversation. We can all have conversation.
Yeah, we can all have conversation, but I'm
cracked the code.
I'm sorry, Ben.
I cracked the code.
Cracked
Okay?
the code.
I cracked the code.
All right, Erica, how about you? I know Ben may have taken your answer.
Well, Ben and Shu stole mine because, Ben cracked the code and I cracked it first. I just wasn't called on first. And then Shu said she hates mail, but one thing I miss about my former job as an administrative assistant was folding a letter in like the trifold and then putting it in an envelope, sealing it, addressing it with labels.
Dude, some of those tasks, like when I was like working in consulting, I was basically the administrative assistant for the entire team. So we'd have to like make packages, like when the away team would go. And like that's like I'm just making like 50 folders. I'm like putting
I love to make 50 folders at a time. Anything where you can make your like little desk setup with all the papers and like make it like maximally efficient, but like it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Erica,
I love
are you
that.
secretly a Capricorn? Because this is like this is the only thing I've ever bonded with someone on. Yeah.
Maybe my mom told me my wrong birth time. I could be who knows. But okay, so since I can't do those because somebody already did them, I would do in my sleep networking, which I don't do in my waking time. But what I imagine it is emailing people and being like, oh my God, remember that lunch? Here's an article you like. And I feel like that's mindless enough to do while you're sleeping. So I would do that.
Nice.
And when I woke up, I would have so many connections. It'd be crazy.
You'd be like passing out your business card, emailing folks, and waking up to a full inbox. Nice.
Yeah, Erica actually cracked the code. The best thing to do if you had all of your nighttime to do a task would be to become one of those people who's got like thousands of connections on LinkedIn.
Millions of endorsements from random people.
Yeah, just hundreds of thousands of people saying that you can type fast.
You know what the secret is? They're all dummy accounts. Erica made like 1,000 dummy accounts and just endorsed it.
Whoa.
She's networking with her bots.
I'm not a sleaze, okay? This is real networking.
I'm just saying you have 8 hours to pass. What if you run out? There's a limited number of people in the world. There's an infinite number of people you can make up, right?
I don't like what you're doing to my answer. I feel like I had a wholesome, reasonable answer, and you're making it sound cynical and terrible.
That's just my take on it. I'm Masood. I'm your GM. He, him, and an assortment of NPCs that we're playing. Well, a variety of pronouns. I'll tell you as we go along. And the thing that I would do, so it's repetitive. It's basic. It's simple tasks. I would start with scales on a piano, and then I would do like find like an electric guitar that I would plug into headphones and just like practice like simple chords. And so I would wake up and I wouldn't like know that I did that. I wouldn't have any memory of doing scales or like practicing that, but I would have the muscle memory of it. So then like hopefully I could jump into things and be good at it. I'd like to go to sleep and wake up a music virtuoso. Like that would be
Asian nerd. Oh my God.
I would love to wake up and suddenly be like, oh man, you know how long I've been trying to teach myself the tabla versus by YouTube? It's terrible, all right? But if I could just practice and just come awake.
But people would go to your shows and be like, oh my God, he's just playing chords.
He's so good.
So you don't have any memory of you playing the piano. So this only works if you have to happen upon a piano and say, oh, let me just try this out, and then suddenly you know all these.
No, I have a keyboard in my apartment. I'll have headphones that plug it in, and I'll sit down.
So you know while
skills.
you're doing this.
I know that, like we all said, these are all, like, you're washing dishes, you're, like, working out. Like, so I know.
So I can't code, but you could play all instruments?
I can practice scales, dog.
So listen.
Scales.
Oh, fine. I changed my answer. I have muscle memory to code. I know Python.
Yeah. Coding is
That's why I
actually
said,
all
like,
muscle
just
memory.
do it, like, do the same website over and over.
No. Check this out. I cracked the code again.
Yeah.
What if
Oh
you
my God.
are a guy who can do scales on the piano, but only while he's asleep? You just go on the road with that act, being the amazing sleeping piano man, and then you just pass the fuck out on stage, and then
Yeah,
all of a
just
sudden
How would you
play piano.
prove
What
that you
is
were
wrong
asleep
with
to the
sorting
audience?
mail? What is wrong with sorting mail?
I
Okay?
don't think there's
Just
anything wrong
I don't think you cracked the code.
There are an infinite
Oh,
number
that's
of codes
code.
to crack, okay? That salty ginger, I promise you. Yeah, but we have another code to crack. We gotta crack this code of returning magic to a forgotten world, an earth devoid of any spirit and mysticism, except for that which you choose to rekindle. So let's take ourselves back in. Can I get a recap of what happened last week, guys?
Well, we entered the orphanage or the once orphanage that is now, what
Shoot.
is your character's name? Shu.
The Angel Man.
Luzon.
Luzon's house.
Luzon's. That is now Luzon's home.
Uh-huh.
And there were a bunch of, was it murdered orphans there? Or had they just died somehow?
The skeletal remains of people who once were orphans but had come back that were part of a now cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And we buried them
Mm-hmm.
and laid their spirits to rest.
Yes, you did.
And Harrison, what is your character's name?
Ambo.
Ambo, sorry.
Ambo.
Ambo made us weapons.
You took the metal from. Well, Harrison, do you want to describe what you did with the metal from the bodies?
So what I did in an earlier episode, we killed some bad people, some guards, and what I did was I took the metal from their spines, and I formed that into different swords or daggers for the group,
Mm-hmm.
and each of the swords like encapsulates their power, their energy. For example, Mr. Ferryman, it's like a ghost
But those
sword.
you built them from the orphans.
So we could say it was a little bit of both. He took all this metal
Mm-hmm.
from the dead bodies that were, and what was left from from Alien consuming the human parts of those corpses. And I don't know if you left any remains, if you spat out the metal parts because you couldn't digest them. What would Little have done in their anaconda form, you think?
I think spit out the metal part.
Yeah, trying to got through, once digested what it could, regurgitated that, and Ambo pocketed the spines from those, as well as the cybernetic enhancements of the No Man's Cult members that were in the Angel Manor, and made you all unique individual weapons that are customizable to you. I'd love to give the audience a recap of what each one of them are, but I asked you all to take notes, and so I want you to describe what they are. I know, Harrison, you use a little bit of metal to, in the classic Duende way, to make your hammer larger, correct?
Yeah.
But let's
His hammer.
Yeah, his hammer, his pinball hammer. That is a ball peen. Sorry,
His throbbing monolith.
Nobody talked about how we all had a dream and there was a huge, gargantuan, throbbing
guys,
obelisk.
it's gotta be
I think
PG-13. We gotta keep it.
I haven't said a single dirty
I
word.
know.
So
I'm just knowing where the boundary is. I'm just
It raised
providing
itself into our sights and it spit forth knowledge of why it was important that we all come together. I didn't say a single bad thing. So
there it is.
Masood, 13-year-olds know what throbbing is.
Yeah. Some of them find out sooner than they thought.
The turgid obelisk.
The turgid obelisk. Thank you. But these mystical, basically valves that are controlling the flow of magic on Earth, you guys found out about and were tasked by the spirit of the plane to find and basically interact with. You don't know if you need to, what you need to do to them, but you know that right now they are kind of acting like a faucet and stemming the flow into the world. And yeah, so I think that, but let's lest we forget, Shu, what was your weapon? What did it look like? Yeah.
Bo, who Luzon considers one of her best friends in the entire world, made her something that looked like just the hilt of the sword, and she was really mad until Ambo very patiently and carefully and considerately explained that it was because she could channel any of the 4 elements. So she could have a blade of water or fire or earth or air.
Nice. And Asura, what happened? What sort of weapon did you get?
I had 2 daggers. When I pull them out, tell me a little like affirmation. So I get a nice little when I pull them out.
You know, the greatest warrior knows the most important weapon on the battlefield is the mind, and you got to keep that. You got to keep it in a good place. Nice. Ben, what about you?
Mine was a blade that can harm or otherwise interact with ghosts in the spirit realm. Ooh.
Sorry.
And I don't think we said. Woo. Yeah. I don't think we said what shape it was, did we?
No.
So,
if you want to describe it, yeah.
I think it's got to be a sickle-shaped blade.
Ooh.
To reap the souls.
Very cool.
As always.
Mm-hmm. Also, to show your hidden communist roots, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Together with Ambo's hammer.
Yeah.
We are the communist boys. The communist ghost robots of the cyberpunk future.
Yeah. Erica, up next. What is your weapon? What does it look like?
My weapon is a broadsword, and when I wield it, it gives the whole group the confidence of having God on our side in battle.
Exactly. You guys are inspired. You feel like the little gods come to your aid and are giving you sort of this invigorating inspiration to continue on what you're doing. And Joan, tell us about yours.
Yeah, mine is a poisonous tipped scythe. And also I could use it to enhance my shape-shifting powers and kill people with it as well.
Hell yeah. And we'll see all of these.
Mine doesn't kill people.
It's still a broadsword. It's like still a sword.
Half these weapons won't harm a living creature. These are like psychological weapons. We have a ghost sword. Boo every time.
Mine just brings God on our side, but it doesn't kill anyone. Oh no.
It's got some of the weapons have the kill tag. Some of them are just like helpful tags. They'll all be useful in the battle. And speaking of which, no one brought up the fact that you guys learned a little bit about the first obelisk that you have to go find. The one that is in the cave. What was the cave's name? It's
Marnar?
Marnar. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Marnar cave. Thank you. And so you all are trying to make your way to the Marnar cave. You found out through Triton that the route itself has been closed off for a while. There are beasts and dangers along the way. There are particularly there was these animatronic robot inspired like animal biomimicry was basically the inspiration of these robots that were designed to replicate the indigenous native species of the area. But because of the eco life and being unsustainable for anything actually from the earth, all of that died out. You know, the rivers became acid. There was nothing to really sustain the entire food chain dissolved. So in order to try to provide a little bit of ambiance and enjoyment for the folks within the city to make it still feel like there was that, the Corp created these things, but somehow over time they have begun to mutate. The AI has changed and has now made them truly feral, running around in these can only be described as a jungle made of both vines and wires. Not to mention the fact that there is going to be acid rain that you have to deal with along the way, because that is pretty common affair. In the city, there is, up above, there are rain guards that are protecting the layers that keep you all sort of safe below. There is always, of course, the issue of a flood happening, but we'll see if that occurs. As of right now, you have to deal with those two things and the security outposts on level 3 of the city in order to get out. And to solve a way around that, Mr. Ferryman actually invoked one of his bonds and sought out one of his people that he knows on this still left in Circuit City. Do you want us to tell us about him? Sorry, that was
I completely forgot I did that.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, no, I went to see this character named Valet, who works at a hotel and is a concierge who knows all the secrets of the nasty, rich and powerful of the city. And we tried to ask him to help us figure out when they're changing the guard shifts, or if we could get any dirty secrets, and try and figure out how to bribe or otherwise threaten or blackmail these guards at his weapons depot. And it didn't go great.
It didn't go great because what you thought there was 5, maybe 6 guards in
where we could get it down to a manageable number.
Yeah. But it's on the security district. This is the main entry and out exit point for folks who have to make land travel to other destinations on Earth. It's treacherous, but the Corp still has minerals to harvest and things that it can still export from the decaying husk of this world. So you found out there's 70 people. Also, you did find out that he may be your bond, but the valet clocked your entire party. Once he found out that you arrived in a group, he pulled up his security cams, and having a little more advanced hardware and software at his capabilities than the Corp, because it's a little more illicit, identified your party members and their, more importantly, that y'all are elementals of different varieties, unchained, most importantly.
May have blown it, guys.
May have blown it. But so with that, I do want to say, I think we haven't really done this, so I do want to catch up on this point. I think so far we have, if you guys remember from the game, and I believe I have it in the, I'll pull, yes, in the handouts on Roll20, if you pull it up, I'll see if I can rotate this over on our stream so folks can see. Yes, okay. So we have this sheet, the Reckoning or Homecoming, and within it, at the end of our our sessions, we should mark which way we're sort of moving, if we're moving towards being captured or if we're moving towards being reborn. And I think I'd like to do an encapsulation of the first 2 episodes because we kind of did a lot together, but they do kind of feel tied in terms of getting situated and getting settled. A lot of the first episode also, we did backstory. We did where y'all were coming from, a little bit of prologue. So I think I'd like to posit to you all, where do y'all feel out of those 2 sessions? Did y'all feel you made 2 pips towards being reborn, 1 pip towards being captured, and 1 pip towards being reborn, or 2 pips towards captured? I want to be fair with y'all, because I definitely think you all have done a lot and you're moving in the positive direction. Laying those spirits to rest was huge. I think that definitely nets you all towards being reborn, because you're actively engaging with the world itself and fixing the flow. Yeah, but also, you guys did openly engage in a fight in front of some civilians who are on your side, but still more people know about you. Someone else clocked you, someone who has a lot of power and may be friends with Mr. Ferryman, but may or may not be the most supportive or could benefit from this information, perchance. So I do want to leave this up to you all to sort of, what do y'all feel? This is a conversation, for us.
So I feel like we risked a lot when we killed those people in public. And I felt like those were probably like understandable but very risky moves, right? When if anyone finds out that we're elementals, we're kind of dead on arrival. So that makes me feel like we probably risked a lot, but then we went back, and so maybe we moved it back, so we might be on the more like neutral end of that.
I see. Yeah, I think that could be worthwhile. I would even say, what other people think? I feel like I've been chatting quite a bit. I'd love to open it to the room.
Yeah, it feels like that encounter with a semi-malicious valet who knows everything about everything that goes on in the city. Now knowing not just of our existence, but also that what our plan is. Feels like that's bad. I should say it's more towards reckoning than it is towards homecoming, surely.
I was thinking that we were way, way, way toward the reckoning than homecoming, but Masood did bring up that we did lay those spirits to rest, which I feel like does bring us more toward a homecoming. So I feel like we did like two very bad things and one very good thing. So I don't know on the balance what that adds up to.
I think, anyone else? I don't want to, Harrison, were you about to chime in?
No, my brother's gonna find me.
You don't know. You know he's around, and he right now doesn't know about you, but he might. So I think that also kind of falls into this category of Mr. Ferryman, where he knows this information, and right now he isn't acting upon it, but it's there. We'll see if it comes up in the story. Because first off, you have to complete your transaction with him, right? Like we got to get to that point. In order to make your way through, he asked for a deal with you. One, to tell him when he was going to die, because you can do that, Ben. And also when your brother was and can you say it one more time? It's Enrique Marcos, right?
It's Estrada Marcos.
Marcos Estrada. Thank you. Yeah. And so Marcos Estrada, he is currently the leader of the building cult. They have control of the city. He has basically taken credit for a lot of what Ambo has done. He's said that he has been the primary builder of Circuit City, that he's the one who established everything and basically took credit for all of Ambo's creations and inventions, and then put him essentially in jail. He's the one who locked Ambo away. So there's obviously bad blood there. And he, as of right now, we don't know if he knows that you broke out or if he's aware that you're on Circuit City, but you know he's here. So because of that also interest, I believe, Ambo, you and Mr. Ferryman and Izzy wanted to do the ritual to find out these 2 times, correct? And then I believe where we left off was Alien, Luzon, and Little were going to find out what to do about the acid rain. And so all of that together, this is where I think we're gonna be. I say you definitely mark 1 towards Reborn because of finding the magic and finding out where you need to go with your mission. Like, you actually have a direction now of where to do it, and also because of laying the spirit to rest, that engaged that sort of engaged in the revivification of magic, starting that sort of connection back to the earth. I also think there is 1 pip towards what's it called? the being captured, and within that, we have to ask ourselves 2 questions around it. And for when a box is marched towards capture, choose one. One of us pays a terrible price, a bond is sacrificed, a hope is shattered. One of us, I don't think one of us becomes reshackled. They become enslaved. Or one of us weakens, so we lose access to our forms of elemental magic. If one of us is the homecoming, one of us is if you choose reborn, you get revitalized. One of us is revitalized. A new bond is formed, and you choose to free an enslaved, and they join your cause. Or one of us strengthens. They temporarily gain access to one form of elemental magic from another playbook. Let's talk about first for the capture, and if you all allow me, I think something kind of naturally occurred in the story that might align with this. Triton, the man who aided your escape and allowed you to be freed, was treated terribly by you all along the journey and the trip. Has gotten beaten up, has gotten assaulted in his short time on Circuit City, and then had his memory accessed to get a download of the world. I'd say we kind of established he doesn't really want to do anything with you all anymore. And so with that, I think that might be the bond that is shattered. So the ability to trust Triton or count on Triton has now been lost. Does that feel fair? And particularly, I'm looking to you, Joan, because that was your bond, and I just want to make sure that feels comfortable.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, cool. Glad to know we all found him annoying.
Right.
Sucks.
Yeah, get rid of him.
So you all lose Triton as one of your bonds to invoke. So take a note of that. Yeah. And then for marking towards Reborn, we've got one of these pips. One of the questions that we have is particularly, one of us is revitalized, one of us, we choose to free an enslaved, or one of us strengthens. And do you all think you formed a new bond? Do you think with your actions, I don't think you all freed an enslaved. I don't think your actions directly had that effect so far. That hasn't been one of the outcomes. But you did, I think even we could say it sort of happened naturally again. Instead of one of you strengthens, this first one, all of you strengthened slightly. Like, you all got these weapons, you all gained these new enhancements. I think that feels, does that feel fair to you all to count that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just want to make sure we resolve that, and just because we are playing, as much as we're doing an incredible job building this, where we all are adhering to this game. We got to follow its rules and see where it takes us. So we've got those 2 marked. You still have, I really like that they're independent times, because I feel like it's a nice way to have the stakes rise as you're moving throughout this, and keep it interesting. So with that, let's get back into it. 40 minutes in, let's finally get back to where we were. So let's just open up exactly last we left you all. In the kitchen in Angel Manor, you all were situated, talking about what you had to do in order to begin your first route to this first power source, this your first stop in bringing magic back to Earth. Yeah, so last we left off, we had sort of the paired off into 2 groups, the 3 and 3. If you guys want to chat amongst yourselves, or well, let's I want to be fair. I'll just what do you guys want to be? Who wants to be 1 and who wants to be 2?
1.
1. Okay. I'm gonna go roll /roll 1d2. Got a 2. So we're gonna go. The other folks are gonna go first. We have, or you all can defer. Let's treat it like football. Do you guys want to go first, or do you want to defer to the other side?
Was I on the acid rain portion, or was I with the club
acid rain
people?
portion? We had the folks dealing with like more of the like true raw element and physical nature of the world, and this other team that was dealing more of a spiritual, like technological manifestation. So, do you guys want to talk about discuss what you guys want to do in terms of solving the acid rain, or would you like the other guys to go first?
I'm fine to talk about acid rain now.
Okay.
Acid rain it is.
Acid rain. So, yeah, you guys split off and you guys get together and begin to discuss. What do y'all say?
Okay, well, my thought is if like each ring has that acid rain protection, we should like steal a little part of that. But I'm wondering if we can give it to Ambo and he can make them into umbrellas.
Oh.
I don't know if that works, but that's
That
think
also is
that's
activating his
great.
lure.
Yeah.
Oh, so I just build stuff for you guys now? Is that what this is? I just build everything for you?
Yes, Ambo, that's
Yeah.
literally all. That's it.
That's your purpose.
Yeah.
Literally what you're here for.
Mr.
We don't
Perriman,
any of
Mr.
us.
Perriman, could you take me
anyway.
out of your backpack, please? Could someone take me out of Mr. Perriman's
Get out of
backpack?
here, please.
Also, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As I'm pocketing his batteries that are in there. Fine. You want me to build you something?
Yes.
That's fine. Well, I guess we're all in this
But it's
together.
also for you.
Yeah. Also, we could consult a weather app and just go when there's no acid rain.
Oh, the weather.
It's actually pretty long.
That's really smart.
And your lure is when they ask the duende to build something for them, they gain a token. So, Usher, give yourself a token, right?
You don't know.
Yes.
And for folks who are watching who may not know, tokens are how we make big character moves in this game. If you want to invoke magic, if you want to do something really powerful as your character, you got to use a token. Otherwise, you could do a weak move to gain a token, which allows you to have a little more power later on, but does threaten the group where they are. Or you can activate someone's lure, like we just did narratively, to generate a token. Yeah. So you guys now want to steal some of the acid plate sheeting that's on the top of the city, or at the very least the top of each ring of the city, an extension. How are you guys going to do that?
Well, I could build it. So
Well, yeah,
the whole
you could
stealing
definitely.
the whole stealing part is. I think I should leave that to.
And you got to find out Marcos's death date and you got to make sure you're there, right? So you now know that they're gonna come back with these materials, and you're gonna have to like do a little bit of. The zoom is opposite from the overlay. You now know you got to do some working on the materials and sort of put that all together. But you can't get started until they come back with this acid rain shielding. And so, how do y'all want to solve this problem?
Izzy, are there any little gods that are like monkey gods, or what was, that can go up to the canopy and grab us this?
Are you like very focused on monkey gods, or could they be bird gods?
Oh, anything. Any little gods that could go all the way up. Because, like, from my understanding, like, these rings are pretty tall, right? Like, it would be very hard for all of us to get there. Or, Masood, was that not the case?
Well, there's not all of you need to go. Like, the three of you all can go specifically and, like, accomplish this task.
Got it.
So, within it, I will say like you can definitely invoke a little god's help to find a way to get up there, but I don't think they'll have the capabilities for you to, one, like, they're not going to have an acetylene torch to like actually like remove a section of this like acid shielding and take it with them. Like, does that feel accurate, Erica?
There's
To
a
like,
Phoenix god
to like what
that
they're
can, like,
yeah.
use fire.
I like fire.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
actually
can't-
part fire.
Little also shapeshift, so she can become something
Yeah.
that can get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. What kind of animal would be good at grabbing stuff from a group?
Monkeys,
Like a
raccoons.
phoenix.
Okay, I'll turn into like a giant orangutan and just like
Just need to get
Yeah.
yeah, some species of lizards, like there's a lot of choices.
Hell yeah. So you're gonna shapeshift your way up there and sort of gather the materials that you need. Is anyone gonna go with you, or how do they aid you in making sure you have the necessary elements to like remove part of the shielding and also keep you safe? Because this is vandalism, guys. In a military police state. Sorry,
Before we proceed, can I just do one technical call out? Is that Joan's lure is sagely advice, not shapeshifting. So just to be clear, this is not activating her lure.
Cool.
But we still need to get the stuff, even if her lore activated. Right?
Yeah, you can definitely, like, of course, lures are different than your actual just like inherent abilities as an elemental. So so you can obviously you can still do this move. It's not like you're limited in doing it, but you just don't get the benefit of getting a lure from it. But yeah, just so we can keep track of it. And actually, I'm gonna, for folks in the chat, I'm gonna copy the lures so folks can keep track of that as well to see what folks for our role play want to be engaging with or thinking about. Awesome.
You know, there might be a way to kill two birds with one stone here. If somehow I was able to unleash havoc way up top, that could give someone else a cover. And depending on where it is, might be able to drown out Ben's bond over there. And kind of tie up that end, depending on exactly where that nightclub is located. Sorry, Mr. Ferryman's.
Yeah, the what ring did we say it was on? We said it was on like this pleasure.
The sixth ring.
The sixth ring. Yeah. So would there be plating to get?
Above the sixth ring from the fifth ring for sure, but because the sixth ring leads directly into, from there you just get into the acid pit, which is devoid to the acid cult. They rule and dominate over that area. And so you could definitely find a way above from the like fifth floor, if you went to the fifth ring and extended out somehow without being seen, you could harvest some of these materials and do it also in a way of unleashing havoc on top of like directly above,
Like some sort of electrical storm that messes with his systems.
I don't do electricity, but I still could do a lot of havoc.
Doesn't that count as air?
No.
I mean, no, it's more friction than anything else. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's the plan, right?
Yeah. But I got a fire sword.
You got a fire sword. So
Yeah.
you're okay. So you guys got this. Do we want to role play this out directly, and then we can cut back to you all? So let's. Awesome. So when do you all go? At what time do you all make your moves to execute this plan?
Well, ideally, we look at the weather, make sure it's not acid raining while we're doing this.
Very smart. Brilliant.
And then I say we pick the dawn, just as a lot of people are leaving, because some part of me thinks that I shouldn't kill people. But on the other hand, the other part of me thinks, why don't we just kill them all? So,
and so thinking about the optimal time when you're going to have the least interaction with other individuals. So you go at the shift change at dawn, you make your move directly out. You guys, the three of you, sneak your way through. I imagine, Alien, what are you doing to protect the group? You're essentially now the muscle on this party, and I imagine you're trying to keep them safe. How does Alien do that?
I picture in the movies when people are trying to do something bad and someone's standing watch and they're like, shut up guys, someone's coming. But I think Alien is more she's like a soldier. She's used to these types of situations, so I'm sure she's saying intimidatingly in her all get up and like anyone who tries to come. That's what I think.
Awesome. And so you are sort of navigating these streets, invoking your little bit of like your soldier experience, standing around corners, gazing, seeing if anyone's coming, and making sure that the paths and the alleyways that you're taking are clear. How do you all navigate your way there? Do you I imagine you have your like walkies out, you're checking according to your destination, and you reach to the edge of the ring on the 5th floor. You guys have made your way. You guys all actually, I believe, no, you're on the 5th floor. That's where you all live. That's the 4th floor is more like company space. It's a little bit like more company town. This is for the forgotten, the sort of dregs, the folks who lose all their money on the 6th floor on the pleasure ring, either go to the acid cult or they find a spot on the 5th. And so you're able to make your way onto the 5th ring, the for lack of a better term, the lower class ring, right? The LCR. And you are situated on the edge of it, sort of gazing onto the acid shielding that's above the sorry, maybe working class ring is better. WCR. And so you guys get situated and pop over. What do y'all do? You're now on this acid shielding, on this circle that extends just above. And you're positioning, forgive me if I'm incorrect, but you're positioning yourself above the valet's hotel, right? The valet's concierge building.
yes.
Awesome. What do y'all
And
do?
right,
Yeah.
am I correct in assuming that we can have a phoenix little god bird fly Little, who is orangutan, and myself, who's sitting on top of her, all the way to the top, so that I can use like my water knife or my fire knife, so I can cut this material?
I actually think you don't necessarily need you all to fly all the way there, but they can point out a route that directly has a little more coverage from security cameras, so you can actually find like a blind spot where you can, because of where you are and where the shielding is. Forgive me if I didn't explain this correctly, but on the 5th floor is where people walk, and at the edge of it, about like a little bit down, is the shielding that protects the 6th. So it is technically, you are above it already, so you don't need to go up anymore. You just need to basically hop over this wall and scurry to where you want to go to do what you want to do. So yeah.
So we're calling upon a little god to give the route?
Yeah, but Did you go with them, or did you stay behind? That's a
I
question.
stay behind, but I could call upon a little god that would
guide them from the
lead them
start
along their route.
Yeah, I think that could have been the way it worked. Like you
We
before
sent her a text, like, conjure up a little god for us.
Well, actually, no, that could work. Like you guys are in position now, and you could be like, okay, and invoke the like. What does that process look like for Izzy? She gets a text on her walkie from the group, the away team, and what do you do? What does it look? So we see you all on the edge, guarding, waiting for a little god to appear. Shoot the text. We cut back to Angel Manor. You all are getting things in order for the ceremony, and you step away to do this ritual. Describe it.
Okay, so I know a little god who lives on the lower class ring. He's sort of like a Jeff Foxworthy type. And so to call
You might
him,
be a little guy.
yeah, right. I tell him he's got a tight 5, and I need him to use that time wisely to get my people where they need to go. And so this Jeff Foxworthy type little god comes out and says, you know you're on the lower class ring when even the security cameras won't look at you.
Crowd goes nuts.
Crowd goes nuts.
Pretty
It's
wild.
crazy.
So
So he
the-
knows this
God.
route from the LCR where no one looks at you because they're so uncomfortable making eye contact with someone from the LCR.
Amazing. And so this little god appears to you all. Sorry, I was very hungry, so I'm eating in the middle of this. This little god appears to you all, and you make your route along the path. You hop over the edge, and he guides you along the route to also provide this sort of mystical interference. Like he's carrying essentially the energy of the working class individuals here. The idea of folks looking down on them and dismissing them and thinking of them as nothing is the perfect opportunity to prove them wrong. So with that sort of energy flowing around you all, everyone seems to not notice this group of 3 individuals climbing on the shielding, which is obviously a very big no-no. And so you guys are now in the middle of the shielding, kind of like, let's say, 200 feet out from the edge of the city, from the edge of the 5th, like the ring that you guys hopped over. What do y'all do? You said Little wanted to unleash some havoc. I'm sorry, Luzon wanted to unleash some havoc, and Little wanted to begin harvesting some of the acid shielding itself. How does that happen?
Do we want to wreck? I mean, I'm always down to wreak havoc. I want to just state that anytime, anywhere. Do we need it to be controlled or uncontrolled? And then the second question is it a diversion, or is this how we're going to get the material because it's like protected by stuff?
So this, I'm going to ask you all, what do you want to have happen? What do you want to have occur? And
Didn't we kind of say earlier that we needed like a big diversion? So it feels like louder, more havoc
there you
filled,
go.
the better, right?
Yeah.
Do what you do best, Luzon.
So I'm just gonna grab a little havoc, little havoc here, little nibble here. So I'm actually gonna make the weak move and do just the havoc and not use one of my tokens.
Ooh, okay.
That way it's the loudest, biggest possible boom.
Hell yeah.
And what I do is I'm allowed to turn into my elemental form, right?
100%.
Right. So I'm finally able to unleash my elemental form. And my elemental form is actually 4 different beings that move simultaneously. And they can either come together to form a super elemental, or they can interact all differently. And for this particular time, I'm melding them together. And just imagine a giant mecha elemental, and it is slamming down into the ground. Buildings are being destroyed. There's destruction everywhere. I'm also making sure that I'm punching up the ceiling with my like arm of fire.
Yeah.
And then the arm of water is just smashing down on this nightclub. And I scream out, "Hey guys, hope you guys make it out okay. If not, I can't really see. So good luck, guys."
So you see this replica of Angel, the socialite, standing there in all of her designer clothes and, well, imitation designer clothes and nice wear. And we see a glow as suddenly it dissipates and it shifts to 4 different individuals who are what do they look like? I imagine each of them represent a different element, but I don't want to take that from you.
Yes. So they all look a little human, but in the sense that you can kind of tell that there's a little bit of a head. But the fire being is just, imagine a column of flame, and you can see 2 eyes, and you aren't sure where it speaks, but you can feel it. The water is just one giant, massive puddle, and it's the same thing. There's no limbs.
They're just like pure elements in themselves, but with somehow all of them have this spectral lightning running across it. That is the thing that binds them, the cloud consciousness of these 4 things, what is Luzon. And so as they appear and then converge and combine themselves, each forming a different part, and eventually creating this mecha Captain Planet, you get on top and you begin raising a fist made of pure flame that manifests itself into what looks like just a massive hammer as you pound onto the earth. This like acid shielding around you. Your left hand changes it into the same massive hammer of water that's swirling and rushing and brings it down, and you start seeing the acid shielding around you begin to chip away. It's making definitely materials that you all can grab and take care of, and underneath you start hearing the crack and shifting of the earth as your hits are descending to the folks below onto directly the pleasure ring, particularly onto the man, the valet's home. So as you're doing this, the little god disappears because he's done his job. He got you to where you needed to go, but also
give me
with
a token.
that, yes, you got your token, and with that, you made a lot of noise. And not only for the folks below see what's happening and panic and distress begin to shock and sober up some of these individuals, perhaps for the first time ever in their life. Up above, you start hearing sirens. And you look out and immediately you see drones starting to pivot and shine a light on the 3 of you all standing there. You begin to hear a voice begin to emanate from it and say, "Stop where you are. Loose elemental reported. Stay there for processing or else die."
Not good.
I'm going to take a rock that I find on the ground, and I'm going to fling it at the drone. And I'm going to tell everyone, we have maybe 2 minutes to get out.
So you take your foot made of earth and you kind of shift it, and it seems to as if you like almost lose a bit of your toe off of it as it sails and clocks the drone. You hear Little and Alien, you hear what Luzon tells you. Both of y'all think two minutes is even. That's being lucky. So you look around and you see some of this material, these scraps present before you. What do y'all do to try to make your hasty escape?
So I just start gathering the roof material as quickly as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I have like my little jungle satchel with me. Mm-hmm. So I gather it up and I just start running, you know, getting away from all this like chaos that's happening.
Do you, on foot, do you like gather it in your satchel? Do you shapeshift? Like, how do you make your retreat?
I think I'm still in my animal form, so I'm just using like 4 legs to like run as fast as I can.
And you, what is your animal form right now? That of an orangutan? Was that the? Mm-hmm. So you're in this orangutan form, and good call because you have thumbs. They might not be the best, but you got them, and you're picking up these scraps that are accessible, putting them into the pouch that you have, and you look down and you see the bit of your fists have been hardened a little bit because you have your scythe with you. So you see, if you needed to, you could use them in order to provide a little bit of assistance, perhaps an acid punch if something came your way. But in the meantime, you grab what you need, put it in your pouch, and you begin on all fours, just like hoofing and puffing. Think of like Lanky Kong from DK64, just moving around and making your way.
Exactly what this looks like now.
100%. You're wearing blue overalls and everything. Alien, what do you do? You know people are on the way, and the fact that this drone clocked you all as loose elementals, particularly the fact that there's a loose Dewata here, means that there's going to be trouble. So what do you do?
Okay, well, I'm thinking, I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should do a strong move, but I don't know. Maybe I should just run away. Maybe I should just grab. Yeah.
You can use a strong move. You have a token. Feel free to do. Like, there's truly the fact that you guys are in this scenario is because a weak move was called, right? And it served narratively what you were looking for, but it also has this sort of ramification. If you want to use a strong move where you're using your token, feel free to. There is also a maximum of 30 tokens available in this game. So for our 6 players, I'm going to say you could have a maximum of 5 tokens on you at a time. I'm
You hear that, Luzon? 5 tokens at a time.
5 tokens at a time.
Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like a challenge.
Unless dictated otherwise, I'd say like if you are at 5 and someone else is 5, and it's like, hey, I have a move that's wild and it's our last session and it's gonna take 7 tokens. Would you give me 2 of them? I'm comfortable with that. But in the meantime, I think
I am going to play the game with no tokens because I'm not a min-maxer.
Maxmin light?
So you could have a maximum of 5 tokens. But yeah, and so yeah, feel free. And in the same way, if you earn them, use them. Like, because the pool should be able to be cycled. That's what that is the best thing about this game is as you make these strong moves, the tokens will go back to the pool. You activate someone else's lore. Narratively, we have another reason to use a strong move. That's it. So there's really, if you want to use a strong move, go ahead.
Okay. Well, so the reason I don't know if I should use a strong move is I don't know if anyone's around. I don't know if we're Luzon has taken everyone away from us and has created a diversion and we should just go. In that case, I will not do a strong move because we don't need one.
I think here's the way to describe it. You all are together. Little has grabbed the materials and starting to make its way back, make her way back. So she's sort of cleared a little bit of distance from you guys. But you two are still there. You see Luzon still wrecking havoc in the midst of doing this thing. I don't know when Luzon knows to stop, but you also know that you can't leave her alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just keep wrecking.
And yeah, folks are on the way.
In that case, then I will do a strong move. Oh, but I don't know which one. I'm like between using my magic with necessary cruelty or intimidating or terrifying someone. I feel like using my magic with necessary cruelty makes more sense here.
I think that could be perfect. Like, you guys should be together, and Luzon is pounding away, and the first team arrives. You have the drop ships come in, and the hover ships arrive in the crafts above, and you see 4 folks descend onto the ground. They have their Corp armor, clearly from Security Division 3. They're on guard, and they're ready. And they see Luzon, and obviously you hear one of them goes, okay, Alpha Bravo, move your way towards the energy elemental. Gamma and Charlie and I will take care of this one. And so 2 of them split off, and they're making their way. And they raise their pulse rifles at you. And what do you do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know this by now, so I'm really sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, if the move I want to do is to use my magic with necessary cruelty,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know what my magic is.
So
like,
you are
Mm-hmm.
an Aswang, an assassin, like a deadly individual. So I think what do you think that means? To me, it was that you move with such efficiency, and like you are
like
you are superhuman in your lethality. You're stronger than other people. You are faster, and perhaps even due to your cybernetic enhancements, you know where to go to provide an effective ending for these individuals.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I was thinking, yes, to do this, I would turn into my true form.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm finally fully in my true form.
Describe it.
Which I don't know. If it was okay, I don't know if it was obvious or not, but it's alien.
You turn into a literal xenomorph. You literally turn into a xenomorph from the Alien film series.
Yeah. So that's me. Pretty scary. Okay, yeah. So who am I attacking? Gamma and
Well, you got 4 people, and you know Luzon currently is so focused on their wrecking of havoc that they'll shoot faster than she can respond right now, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm like the Hulk right now.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Singular in task. So how do you eliminate all 4 of them?
Okay, well, I'm super fast, right? Super stealthy. So I'm gonna so one is like about to shoot. That's the one I'm gonna go for first.
Yeah.
I'm super strong too, right? Or am I just super fast?
You're
okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay, so this one I want to just do the neck thing that they do.
So you
breaks neck, kills them.
You drop low. It takes a shot at you, and you duck out of the way, and you are in a flash slithering across the floor, moving your tail behind you like it's its own snake. And you, before you can realize you're behind him, you snap his neck, and then the other guy whips around, pulls his gun on you.
Really cool. Like if this is a movie, oh my god. Does Alien see there's someone behind her, and then my tail just does the thing, fucking strangles them.
He's he pulls out and he like, you hear him go up to his ear, and he's like, Aswang reported, loose Aswang, and he got his gun, but before he can finish, your tail extends out from behind you and gets him actually through his ear into his head, and he falls. You see the other 2 look down at their commanding officer and superior ranking official, immediately get eliminated, turn and realize you're the real threat, and begin to start shooting at you. And so now you have the other 2 individuals on the other side who were moving their way towards the zone. What do you do next?
Okay, well, I need to duck for cover. Ooh, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to take a gun from someone killed. I'm going to duck for cover, to shoot at one and kill shot that one. Okay.
So you you grab the gun off the body you just killed, and you see the bullets coming. You roll over, you aim it steadily, and boom, it shoots, and next thing you know, his neck no longer has a head, but there is a smoke cloud just like arising from it.
Yes.
Finally, this last one looks at this carnage and realizes that they're gonna die here, but they're not. They're gonna do their best not to die alone. So you see him drop his gun, pull out a knife that he's got ready, and just begins to charge directly at you. What do you do?
Okay, I pull out my 2 daggers.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me I look really beautiful today.
Oh,
And I'm
alien,
like,
you look beautiful today. Is that what they sound like? Yeah.
No, they're like beautiful. It's like a whisper.
Oh no!
Like,
oh
I
no!
put
Wind.
out
Okay.
the-
They like pull out. And it's
Yeah.
like shink. You're so beautiful. And then
And I'm like, thank you.
and you immediately move forward. And
Yes.
what do you do with your 2 daggers?
Okay, so they have a sword, you said, right?
They have like a
No.
long knife, like a combat knife themselves.
Okay, so I have 2 daggers, right? So they're gonna charge at me. I'm going to take 1 dagger and like do the thing where put it off to the side, whatever the technical term for this is, and then with my other one, I'm just gonna stab them straight in the heart,
So
straight in the middle of their chest. Actually.
It's not really a fight because it's so calculated. You see the way he's holding it, you see his stance, and he's going to thrust forward. And the moment it comes forward, you feint with your left hand, you block it, and get him with your right. And you see him, he grunts.
He's like coughing up blood.
Coughing up blood, falls down. Luzon, are you done with your experience, or are you like, what happens now as you turn around and see these 4 bodies and hear more choppers along their way, more hovercrafts descending on your position?
So I think that I am tall. Like this elemental is like pretty big. So I'm having a hard time like hearing stuff. But at some point, like I noticed that.
For the record, tall people can hear. I want to before we start believing that tall people can't hear.
I don't.
Tall people can hear.
For a minute, no, I refuse. Anyways, but out of like the top of the elemental is like is like a tornado basically. With fire and like water and everything else, and from those eyes I see Little running away, and I see Alien killing people, and I realize, oh no, we've been found out. But I am sitting here just being like, I'm like trying to look for Ambo and Mr. Ferryman, trying to be like, are they safe? Are they okay? So I'm calling out, where are you? But I don't know if they're hearing me or if they understand because I'm so large and just yelling.
It's weird because in this new form, you knew what you were supposed to do, but it's now really like your energy. It's, how to describe? It's raw. So is the emotional capacity that you have to respond. So suddenly this raw power feels threatened, and its immediate response is protection. I need to make sure the people around me are safe. It loses track of the fact that Mr. Ferryman, Ambo, Izzy, those individuals aren't even there, but you do clock the 2 are, and you're thinking about them. Does that begin to like take you out of this like fused form? Is that what causes you to like begin to revert back to Angel, or do you like stay in this form for a little bit?
No, that's what knocks me out of it, because it does require concentration, and it requires, especially because it was a weak move, so I don't have as much control over it as I would like to.
Hell yeah.
Which, you know, I've been asleep for however many years of battery, so I fall apart, and it seems like where there was this once giant elemental, it's just this little tiny socialite falling from the sky.
And Alien, you see this happening, and you turn, you move, and Little, you see this as well. I imagine you double back. You guys reach up, and collectively or catch Luzon as they're falling. Look back and see the choppers moving. Little, you've made a path. You've sort of routed out and you doubled back. You know the quickest way now to get back to Angel Manor and lay low. And so in your Lanky Kong orangutan form, you begin to leap and make your way out while this xenomorph carrying a socialite on her back begins to slither its way through the streets. And I think that is where we're going to take a break. We're coming up right on the time. When we get back, we'll see what it looks like for you guys to return these goods, and also what's been happening while this has been taking place. How did the other half of our elementals use this commotion to their advantage in their ritual? And yeah, we'll see how it comes back in just a moment. So see you all in about like 10 minutes. Yeah.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye. And we're back.
Oh, are we muted here?
I thought you're muted.
I think we're muted.
I am muted here. Thank you.
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. We're back, and we're live.
I'm muted.
You all weren't muted, but I was, unfortunately. Ugh. But we're here. Welcome back. Last we left off, our group, half of our group was on top of the shield plating. They had retrieved some of the materials that they needed to build the acid umbrella, unfortunately drawing the attention of the Corp in the process. But due to some hasty navigating by Little and some effective murdering by Alien, Luzon and the rest of the group were able to escape. But while this all was happening, we cut back to Angel Manor. And so you all are getting ready and getting situated to perform this ritual to discover the death date of the valet, as well as the death date of Marcos Escado. Is this correct?
Estrada.
I'm going to write this down again so I do not forget it.
We're both presidents in the Philippines.
Marcos
At one point.
Estrada. Ooh, look at you doing some culturally relevant references for folks. Nice.
I
like that. We can talk about it off screen, but the reason why I picked Corliss Antioch was for a similar reason. But anyways, so we get back to Angel Manor, and we've got this ritual particularly to divine the death times of two important people. And I want to ask you all, why was it important to cause interference for the valet in generating this information? Like, why was that a necessary component of you all like gathering, or was it a necessary component, or like?
I was gonna say, was it a necessary component? I thought it was just because we want to mess up his intelligence you know, because he had video footage of us and knew about our plans. We didn't kill him or anything.
No, I mean, technically he's your ally. He was trying to help you do your plans. And
right.
Now you've sabotaged him a little bit.
But he may not be an ally anymore.
Yeah. Still the person who's essentially blackmailing you to... Well, you're trading information. He's giving you access to the security outpost, or at least a time when you guys could slip in and out relatively effectively.
Yeah, I guess I'm being a very bad business partner right now.
Well, this is why I asked, like, is there a part that was like, because of the design of this game, you could invoke and say like, no, you needed it to have him be in an emotional state. You needed him to like in some way you needed him to physically be in a certain position to like get that information from him, or you know what I mean? Like,
well, I was thinking about using this ritual because I have this type of elemental magic where I let the dead speak.
Ooh.
and I can get secrets from the dead.
Mm.
And so I have to tell you, the GM, one of 3 ways I get information.
Okay.
This is a cool feature of the game. One way is I get information that's untraceable. Nobody knows that I've gotten it, but it's incomplete. One way is that I get information and it's complete and accurate, but I'm tagged so they know that I have it. And then lastly is to get complete, full information, but it reveals a dark secret.
I just saw that. So
Yes. So for my character, I wanted to choose the information is complete, but I'm tagged.
Yeah.
There's like a record in whatever, like cyberpunk, like half technology, half spirit realm. There is like if you know where to look, you can find out that I've been accessing this information on Marcos Estrada.
On Marcos Estrada specifically. Okay, I like that.
So that's why I don't know everybody's death date always. It has to be something that I sought out. And one of my bonds, my other bonds, was a character named Christina, who's a holo archivist at the National Archives or whatever of Circuit City.
I like that. Like, instead of a library, there's now at this time there's an archivist who does and keeps track of all their information and sort of
because it's all just on holo.
It's all on yeah.
No paper exists anymore. And so I think I want to try and get the spirits to access her Circuit City records, or not records of the living and dead, but I want to contact spirits in some way to be able to get that information from, like, I guess, the fates of Sulad. I guess this is not really related to Christina. Sorry, in the bond.
You could use her to find out somebody who just died, and use them. To
have like a tether to Sulad, the underworld. Okay, let's do that.
That's so awesome. So you go over to you reach out to Christina and ask for a recent obituary, and she tells you about someone who passed away just a day prior. He worked on the working class ring. It was an individual who had a little bit of prominence, but fell into some bad luck with the wrong people on the pleasure ring. And this it happens. And so Jonathan Lee Ray, unfortunately, was passed away yesterday. And you know that this happened, so you have to seek out his ghost to find a tether to the underworld.
Yeah, and he's famous in Circuit City because there's those pictures of him in the advertisement.
But I heard
he died horribly.
I heard he's not even from Circuit City.
He's
not from Circuit
Very important city.
He's from a different place.
He's from a different city.
Yeah, he's from Naperville. And
so just to be clear, a neutral move for me is using my magic with consequence. But a strong move would be using my magic with haunting accuracy. And I don't have any tokens. So I have to just use my magic with consequence. There's no guarantee that this is going to work.
Okay. I like this
tokens.
Because in order to achieve it, you also are using this distraction. So here's what I'll say. You're able to gather the information about we can talk about what you get, and then you can describe to me what the ritual looks like, and we can discuss like how that information comes to you. But I'll say you're able to find out the death time of the valet, and due to the commotion and the sort of like disturbance that happens around that, that doesn't come. He's not able to trace you because his machinery and like systems are kind of messed up, so that you can't find out that like you specifically got that, or like, and give you the advantage of then parlaying it to him, saying like, I need to make sure that you couldn't find that information on your own. Like, you couldn't trace what I did and do that for yourself. It had to be, you had to make sure this information was exclusive to you. But
he's seeking the death date of Marcos Estrada
as well. These are the two deaths as well.
Two deaths.
So I'm saying you could get
both of them?
I'm gonna say you get both of them, but at different variances. So you definitely you get Mr. Valet's without consequence. But because of the weak move that Luzon invoked and sort of using that to your advantage narratively, I think you're able to find that out. Marcus Estrada's, he knows that it's going to be traceable. And so in some way it's going to come back to you all. So with that in mind, like describe to me what these rituals look like. So you reach out, you grab the spirit's energy, this very it's kind of like a fake Bronx energy, kind of driving you, and you use that direction to do what?
I think it very much is the kind, because my character's name is Mr. Ferryman, but because before he had become a machine spirit, it was in the words of the game, once I was spirit, memory, the nightmare between death and human. So he was ferrying souls to Sulad. And so as he sees this newly dead, he stops him before finally passing over in his journey. And it's very much a conversation. We're just asking that this information be passed because the balance of the living world in Sulad is upset by the enslavement of the elementals, and asking that this information is retrieved before he passes fully into Sulad.
And so you have this conversation with this spirit, and it can't directly verbally speak back to you, but you know it received your message. And you see it begin to beckon you along a pathway, showing you a direction in the darkness that before did not seem like a route. The path or the space that you were in had a very particular sense of being, and in the emptiness of Sulad, in the spirit realm that you're in, you know not to wander because it might be unsafe. But seeing this spirit guiding you, you begin to follow into the darkness, and see that it leads you to a, for lack of a better term, the knowledge that you're seeking. One of which is unfettered, untied. There's no wires bound wrapping this bright, glowing light from you to possess. And as you reach out, you touch this glowing entity with your hand, and you internalize when what's it called, the valet is going to die. It's going to be when is he going to die? You actually get, it's interesting because you have the knowledge, and because time shifts and changes, you know that due to your mission, his death is perceived as either within 2 weeks or 17 years and 14 days and 6 hours from now.
Okay, yeah, because we did establish earlier that death date is what fate wants for you.
Exactly.
But fate can get screwed with. That's why I want to stop the enslavement, because it messes with the fated death time.
And with that sort of energy, you're also gathering, like, that 2 weeks thing is, to use a term that the kids use, it's sus. You know, like that is, there's something suspicious, specific. Yeah,
that was so natural coming out of your mouth.
Thank you. It
How do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do? That's a little
the way that you said sus.
That's a little sus. I've been practicing it. I think it comes out.
Gang.
Hey, how do you do? Ready to the sock hop? But no, it's a little suspicious for the rest of us non-Gen Zers. It is something about it is unnerving to you?
How about this?
Mm-hmm.
As
Suspicious. Yeah.
As Mr. Ferryman is doing this ritual, since it's taking place in the spirit realm, we already established he has 2 projectors in his eyes.
Yeah.
There's like these, his like body is like not doing anything.
Ooh, yeah.
Eyes are wide open, but there are like images and shapes and forms being projected from the spirit world. Hard to discern what they are, but there's nothing is clear on the valet's death date. It's in flux at present.
I really like that. You actually reach out, you touch this ball and this energy of light, and it enters your hand, and you actually see it travel through you and then begin to project out of your eyes into this nothingness, like what his death would look like. And in it you have the timer associated with each, but each eye is displaying a different image, and with it is the corresponding time. And so it's never been so succinct. Like the one out of the right eye, the one that's 17 years, like 14 days, etc. amount of hours away. That one is also shifting and changing, and the time itself is also mutating ever so slightly around it, but it's still saying in a much future tense. The one that's on the left is 2 weeks is static, and in it you see him under rubble, crushed. And so as you reach back and you process this information, and I want to take a moment and cut back to look at how are Izzy and Ambo maintaining and assisting Mr. Ferryman in his ritual. Like, so we see him processing and sort of accessing this knowledge. What are you all doing while he's doing this, or what ways are you aiding his journey for this knowledge?
Well, since his eyes are acting as projectors, we're sort of reading back to him what's there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that I really like that. Like, you all don't, like, Mr. Ferryman, you're processing this spiritual information, and then it gets literally downloaded and coded and then regurgitated out into the physical world. Like, you are actually acting as the machine, the computer, to process this. Because you're in the spiritual network, right? And so you're projecting this information, and you guys see it, and you're locking down this information, keeping track of it. And we cut back after witnessing this occur. We go back to Mr. Ferryman, and you see the spirit lead you to another light. And while the other one was resplendent and boisterous and embodied the self-assuredness and knowledge that the valet carried, like, you could almost feel his energy through it. This one, as you get closer, does not shine in that light. It's harder, it's harsher, it's ruthless as you get closer to it. It feels direct and pointed, and it feels for lack of a better term, like, relentless. Like, this is the light of someone who will accomplish their goals no matter what the cost. And as you get closer to Marcos Estrada's, for lack of a better term, death data, and you reach out your hand, you also see that this one, unfortunately, is fettered. It is...
He's got somehow in his employ, he's got a Santelmo or someone who can get into the spirit realm.
And it's sort of protected, and for lack of a better term, you see... it looks almost like Duwata energy and a Duende creation that is being harnessed by a San Elmo of his own, that allows this time to almost be this information is, for lack of a better term, in our Zoom chat, as Luzon pointed out, a dead firewall, like literally to protect this time. What happens? We said that obviously you chose to make a weak move, so he knows that this occurs. He knows that he gathers this sort of feeling, but also in doing a weak move, you do earn a token. So I know you're trying to do it. No, you have one by choosing a weak move. One of the other,
it was a neutral move.
Oh, it was a neutral.
No token spent or gained.
I see. That's why was death here recently was the question. I see. So respect. And so this is also, as we were saying, taking action but inviting risk. This is the risk. How are you going to get past this firewall to get this information?
I think I want to.
Can I chime in?
Yes, please.
I have a bond who is a demon and can access the hellscape. If we're assuming that Ambo's brother has gone to hell, then he might be able to help us through.
I like this. Let's take a moment and let's process this. You, Mr. Ferryman, are on your journey and you come across this sort of firewall around a memory, and in doing so you relate back, like you, as you're talking in the spirit world or in this like sort of sulad, you also are speaking in the physical plane in Circuit City to those around you, and you're describing what you see, and you mention this firewall being placed. And so Izzy and Ambo, you are hearing about it. Ambo, you begin to understand the perversion and distortion of magic that Marcos has been beginning to use this technology for. This is not right. Like, the ability to do this obviously clearly is taking the direct cost of a Dewata to constantly power this level of protection, as well as enslavement of a Saint Elmo to constantly be in the spiritual realm to cultivate this energy into a firewall. So knowing these things, you understand a little bit of the technology, but you also understand that this is not just, for lack of a better term, earthly technology. There is something, as Izzy was saying, not infernal, but nefarious, something that is, a little evil in order to make it occur.
Yeah. And when growing up and when I first knowing Marcos Estrada, is that something about him is that he's a very a duende, not duende supremacist, but he believes the duende's powers are the strongest, and that he doesn't he doesn't like all of the other elementals because he feels that duendes have it enough by knowing how to build. And so just seeing him now using a Santelmo and a Dewata to help him, it's just he's a completely different person to me now. Someone that I never grew up with, someone I truly don't know anymore.
I like this because I think there is this energy that you almost respected or could identify with, of self-sufficiency. Like, I don't need anyone else's power. I can create it myself. I can build the technology to achieve what I need to achieve. And now I think it's the vibe of I can build whatever I want because I get to determine what I do. And no matter what the cost, no matter what materials or fuel it takes, I can do it. And so you sort of get this vibe from your brother, who you haven't seen but feel like once again. And Izzy, you begin to reach out to your bond. And so this bond, how do you communicate with this spirit? Is this are they a demon, or do they have a physical form? Do you text them like that? I really how do you communicate with this individual?
Well, it's a young boy who was possessed by a demon, and in my saint days, I was supposed to exorcise the demon from this child's body, but I grew to like the demon and enjoy their company, and we formed a friendship, and I didn't want to get rid of him.
Hell yeah.
So,
and let me double check the demon's name. I believe you sent it to me.
Reginald.
Reginald, yes.
Reginald the demon.
Reginald the demon.
Yes, Reginald the demon.
Can I ask, now that you're back in the years away, does Reginald, does the boy Reginald possess age, or is he forever a child? Is that part of the
Forever a child.
Forever a child.
He's been a child since like the 18th century.
So this is, and so Reginald, you reach out to him, you pull up your walkie and you begin a video call with him, and you pull in and you see a tiny man, a child wearing a 3-piece suit with a button like all the way to the top, like a really like nice bow tie. He's got like a little pocket square and a what's it called, a watch on a chain in one of his pockets. He's dressed down in nice clothes, and he's pulled up his phone and he goes, Izzy, what a delight to see you.
Reginald, how you been, my little demon child?
Oh, just conquering and ruling over this physical plane with my infinite knowledge of time.
Same.
When are you going to visit me in the second ring? It's delightful up here.
You know, I was just in the lowest ring, and I won't go back down there again. Not if you pay me, Reginald.
Izzy, you understand. The filth and the riffraff deserve what they get. Come enjoy the lap of luxury with me. We'll be very comfortable.
I know you can do whatever you want in this world, Reginald, but you choose to prey on the weak. That's what I love about you.
And you don't try to change me. That's what I love about you.
Thank you for saying that.
I also know, Izzy, you usually don't call out of the blue. What do you need?
Listen, we're having a little interference with the connection to the underworld, and I was hoping you could use your connections to, get us the info we need, get us a hard line down there.
Oh, of course. It's not an issue for me. I will find this information, but Izzy, nothing comes for free, not even for friends.
Reginald, you're such a demon. Okay, what do you want?
Come see me, Izzy. It's been so long since I've had a friend visit me, and someone who knows me from over the years.
On the second ring? Are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm asking you to come by for lunch. Of all the things that I could ask of you, Izzy, it's truly not. I could take your soul. But no, I just want you to come spend time with me. Is that so wrong?
Reginald, you know I protect my soul more than most people do. You'd have a hard time taking it, but I will get lunch with you if that's what you want.
Okay, thank you. I would love that. Are you still a fan of cucumber sandwiches? And
you know I love them.
I have a hidden case of Toblerone. They stopped making them years ago, but you know how I love my sweets.
You fucking demon.
And you are a corrupt saint. That doesn't mean we can't share.
That's true.
Yes, so you need access to what? In the underworld.
We need to know how to get around Marcos Estrada's firewall.
Oh, someone's being very naughty. Okay. I should have offered you are really getting a deal just hanging out with me.
You're going to serve me cucumber sandwiches and a Toblerone for lunch.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting the rind of the deal.
We're going to hang out. They've got lots. You know what? You're ruining it. All right. I was going to be a great host. It was going to be a fun time.
Oh,
fine.
No, I'll enjoy it. I promise.
Thank you. Okay. And so what I imagine you have a Sentinel mole with you that's accessing the net?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell him, or rather...
Or her.
Or her, correct. I'll, let me send you the information. And he, sends you, a schematic through a message, and you look down and you sort of take this, data off of your phone and put it in a hard drive, like a data chip, and insert it into Mr. Ferryman's palm while he's inside, while he's sitting there. And as Mr. Ferryman's sitting, I imagine cross-legged, arms out in a meditative stance, receive this data. You, in the spiritual place, look down and see in your hand what looks to be, for lack of a better term, a key, like a truly for lack of a better term, a Tron key, like made out of the same like light energy and circular sort of neon force that we see all over Tron. Which, for the record, features a moment, and this is just the thing that I love about the remake of Tron, where Jeff Bridges fights Jeff Bridges on a bridge, and it's mwah. I love that was written and put into place. But
beautiful.
It's real good. So, but we're back, and you are present in this space, and you have this key to access through the firewall.
Yes. So I want to see if there's a place to insert it into the Duende's machine.
And as you get closer, you see in front of you the actual almost wall itself appear, preventing you from getting access to the machine itself. But as you raise the key, you sort of feel a pull towards the actual firewall in its entity. And as you raise it, you make contact, and you see, as they connect, the wall and the key shine one brilliant instant, and then both are gone. And now you have access to the machine.
Beautiful. So I want to crack the thing open.
Yeah.
Let me get that death date.
And so you look in and you see the death date, and as you download the data, you're processing it, and you see the folks in the real world also clock this. It's the same thing as the valet. Mr. Ferryman's two eyes project two different times. This time, however, his right eye shows him dead in 2 weeks, and his left eye is ever changing, and the time is constantly going up.
Oh, I see. Ha ha! It's gonna be immortal.
What?
What?
Yeah, no, what? Could I shake Mr. Ferryman and say, what are you?
The projection's
Your
sputtering.
hard drive's broken.
And he comes out of his reverie saying, "Thank you, Jonathan Leroy. Thank you, John Leroy. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan Leroy. If you're here right now, I'd kiss you right on your little mouth."
The greatest silent assistive spirit in the world, Jonathan Leroy.
Jonathan Leroy, I wish you good night and good luck on your way into Sulat. Sorry, I'm back. This is not good.
Mr.
What-
Ferryman, you said the craziest thing with your eyes. You said that Mr. Stardom might live forever.
Yeah,
Like I said, not good.
one is in 2 weeks, one is in forever. Which one can we believe?
I saw my friend the valet's death date, and I saw it. Okay, and I saw it. I saw that if we continue with our actions, achieving our goals, he will die in the next 2 weeks, crushed in rubble. And I saw if we abandon this crazy quest and either go into hiding or returned to enslavement. He'll die in 17 years. In some peaceful way. It doesn't matter how he dies. That's when he dies. What we do now is going to make the decision. I don't understand what exactly was going on with Marcos in the second projection when his death date was changing and kept going on and on and on. But it's my fear that he'll just keep growing.
Does he have the key?
Forever.
So he must have the key to eternal life. He must have invented the
Maybe.
key to eternal life.
Well, maybe it sounds like in the next 2 weeks, we can either stop him from finding it or let him live forever.
Bingo.
All right.
Good one.
Well, I think I know what I want to do. I want him dead in 2 weeks. So let's go.
I have to kill my friend, the valet.
We don't know that their deaths are linked.
Wait.
It's true. And I also know death's not the end. Let's do it.
And on that note, you have this moment of resolution, and you guys are walking up the stairs out of the basement where you guys have been holding most of your rituals, and you see the other group sort of like burst open through the front door and like shut it behind them as Little begins to transform out of the orangutan form, and Alien begins to transition back into being their human biker chick persona while carrying Angel throughout the house. And so you see Alien carrying Angel back into the kitchen, and Luzon at this point is still this being a weak move, wanting to use your power to the fullest and like basically run at maximum capacity is super draining, particularly because you have never gotten that chance before. You've always been metered and always been controlled by someone else. So having the ability to like really freaking let loose is something I imagine you don't know the exhaustion of it yet until this moment. And so that's why I was like, well, Alien had to carry you the entire way back. What does it look like as you guys come back and begin to interact together?
Little I
What
love
the
your
hell happened?
Oh.
Sorry.
What happened? But I love your overalls.
Yeah, sorry, Lanky Kong overall. That's the one thing that stayed from the transformation.
Guys, I brought back a bunch of scraps. You know, we could use it to build like acid proof armor. You know,
I believe it was umbrellas from what I remember. I'll take these. Okay, I'll be outside. Could you please not let her die? Okay. All right. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Hey guys.
He's
Hey,
touchy.
hey, Ambo. Ambo, I know you missed me. Hey.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
he's
glad
gone,
you're
okay.
alive. I'm glad you're alive. I shut the door behind me and I go build the umbrellas.
You guys, Ambo's my best friend. I don't know if you guys know that. He's my
No, I'm
best friend.
not.
He didn't mean that. Then I pass out again.
Oh, let her sleep. She seems sleepy.
You all seem sleepy, but successful.
Actually, no, I wake up. Also, the Corp knows where we are, and they might be coming for us. Then I pass out again.
Come again, what?
Yeah, we should probably leave soon.
What?
Ooh. Well, we
Wow.
found out some death dates, and I have to have lunch with an old friend, so maybe we should leave.
Well,
Yeah.
the umbrellas are ready, so I'm good to go whenever
Make
we
those
are.
umbrellas to go.
Yeah. Yes. They don't call me Duende for nothing. All right. Everybody gets an umbrella.
It's a little theater magic. You walk off stage for one moment, come back with them immediately right behind.
Okay, let's kill my brother.
So you guys all gather together, and you look at the time. You have what you need. There's only one thing left: confirming with the valet about when you can go. And with that, you have to give him some information.
Guys, we have to go back to the scene of the crime. I'm sorry. one of the many crimes we did today.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say,
Which crime? Could you
done a
be more
lot of
specific,
crime.
Mr. Ferryman?
I have to go see the valet, and they kind of did that whole thing on top of the valet's hotel.
God.
It's gonna be hard to explain.
So how are we going to get through there?
It's a good question.
That's
I
a place
guess that's where all the Corp cops are.
Well,
I wake up again. Can you just call him? Pass out.
Ooh, calling.
Yeah, can't I? Is there a secure way to call him?
yeah, you have a phone, dude. Everyone has a phone.
But you have to ask, is this line secure first?
Living or dead.
Okay, call 1-800-VALETTE.
You have reached valet services. Unfortunately, due to a technical storm, our answering machine services are offline. For all your needs, please visit us in person.
Oh no.
Call went great, everybody. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go there.
Wait. Try their chat bot on their website.
Yeah, can you check and message them?
Call 1-800.
No, on their website.
Yeah, but you have to get onto the website through the phone.
He's actually has a really like one of those old phones. Where you have to...
I tried
in your area.
I tried the chat bot on the website.
You try the chat bot on the website. Unfortunately, the website is down.
What does the website say? Does it say go there in person?
No, it says currently service request not found. You got an error 504.
Could you talk to
bad internal gateway?
Could you talk to a dead person and ask them to relay a message over to Mr. Ferryman and have them relay the message back?
I don't think Mr. The valet is a San Elmo. So the question is how he would communicate with the spirit.
Well, could they talk to a San Elmo?
God, it sounds really weird. Like you don't want to interact with this person you dropped a part of city on top of. That's so shocking. I have no idea why that would be the case.
Fine.
We kind of also did it for no reason.
You guys were making the choice. I was like,
I thought that you guys were there, so that was, I guess, on me. / there was evidence of us, so I freed all of us one sense, and then I'm still passed out.
No. We did resolve this a little bit. The way and the fact that you were able to get access to the valet's information unfettered was because of this storm. Like you imagine that he probably also had some sort of protection in the line of the way that like Marcos Estrada had of like keeping this information secure. Whether or not he knew it, he still had to have it sort of safe. So in some ways, we could even say he's in on it, that he's aware that this destruction needs to get place, and this is the way he covers it to the folks. If you guys want to like. Because he is a bond. Let's say that.
That's true, yeah.
He's someone you are bonded with. This is someone that you have a connection with. You can say he's in, whether or not you trust them 100% is a matter of whether or not he can benefit off of this information. He's a broker, right? Like that's
right.
what the valet is about.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my list of magic and my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think because now the problem is how do we get in there? Because that's where all the core security is.
I mean, I think it
disguises.
It depends on who goes, right? Like,
Well, the Jeff Foxworthy little god could take us back.
Your topical joke about Jeff Foxworthy, super relevant joke
true.
in 2020 of our Lord.
That is true because the guards have only seen Alien, Little, and Luzon, but they haven't seen Izzy, Mr. Ferryman, and myself, right?
No.
So could the three of us go and have so Luzon could rest up a little bit.
Yeah, and you guys the other folks, Little and Alien, could do what you want to, either prepare or just make sure Luzon is sort of resting in the state. The three of y'all can definitely go and interact with with the valet, and. Because this is a game, Balikbayan is really great. It is a collaborative storytelling. I want to throw it to you guys. Do you want him to have been in on it? Do you want to have like the only way that he could give you access and not have his like insurance company find out that he knows when he's gonna, like, think about how much power you have if you have a life insurance policy and you know when you're gonna die, right? Like if like there's a measure where he also needed you to sabotage himself so that he could like remain innocent in the eyes of the Corp, only to like further benefit you all later on the road.
Oh, he's in on it, baby.
Yeah, that makes all of our actions make a lot more sense.
I love it. Well, no, absolutely, guys, and we can definitely have that be the case. And you see him suspiciously. He had just taken out some like a few extra insurance policies before you got like that just processed the night before your move. So he's obviously gonna like rake some sort of benefit off of it. But as the three of y'all end up pulling into the sixth ring, the pleasure ring, and making your way to the valet's metropolitan hotel, you see its shining splendor, its glory, its brilliant magnificence among the grit and grime and a little more of the sleaze of the pleasure ring. That contrast is harder to tell. The dust, the falling debris, all of that has now dissipated and covered the building itself in a bit of grime. It seems a corner of the building has been like chunked away by a bit of acid, like shield plating that had fallen, and some concrete that was also attached to it. And you see in the front where there was a fountain has now been crushed by a giant like bunch of like rebar and cinder block that has fallen. And so the three of you all make your way across and sort of push your way in to the valet's place. And you see currently there, he's talking to some individuals over to the side. They look... They're Corp, man. They're definitely Corp. But they're... From the energy and the way that they carry themselves, you see them more part of their investigative unit. These are the Corp detectives trying to figure out what... the valet is up to. It's also standard procedure for the fact that if literally a ceiling like the ceiling of this city was to collapse onto them, they have to investigate. They have to figure it out. And so you see him talking. The valet catches you and like kind of puts his hand in front of like his eyes so they can't see, but he like winks at you so you know that he catches your presence. And exactly, super subtle. And you all sort of wait a little bit, and he says, "Well, gentlemen, I promise you, I will update you."
And lady.
Well, he's talking to the detectives at this point.
How do we know they're only
So none of them are.
Well, ladies, if you give me a moment, I will be updating you with any information I have. In the meantime, I, of course, have much business to conduct and wreckage to resolve. So if you give me a time, I'll be sure to get back to you as I do an assessment. And you see they turn and they look at him, and one of the detectives just got He's got curly hair that's blue, that's clipped in the back by one sort of massive, like silver, long, like clip that's just like super thin right there. It's kind of hanging behind her head. She's got glasses on, and her face has some of that high class cybernetic running across, where you see just like her veins are replaced with wiring through her face, and she sees it.
Oh, cool.
And you say, yes, you do that. You update us when you find out more. Tell them Detective Mason would love to hear what you have to say. And, sure seems like it's going to cost a lot of money to replace all this, don't you say? Huh, Sarah? And you see the detective to her right and looks at her and says, yeah, it does look like it's going to be a lot to replace. And she's got her hair in a similar sort of setup and a different clip where that one was silver, this one is gold, and her hair is a bright red that clearly, I mean, at this time might be natural, but if for you all knew, it would have to be like a vibrant sort of shade. And as you look at them, you gaze and you start to realize they are, for lack, if it wasn't just for wait a minute. The only thing that's different about them is the color of their hair. Literally down to the last curl of its placement, to the face, to their identity. If you just did a palette swap, you would see it. But you just see two detectives looking at them, and Detective Mason and Detective Mason stand in front of the valet, nod, and make their way out. And as they pass you all, what do you all do? Are you I imagine
Eyes straight ahead.
eyes? I don't know if that's more inconspicuous or less inconspicuous. That's the real question.
Go, detective.
Nah, it's weird.
You do.
And you see Sarah and Martha Mason begin to make their way out. And I'm gonna keep track of that. Making characters on the fly. Gotta track that. Okay, and so after these two detectives leave, you all see the valet waves to you around back, and you guys pull into his back office, and he says, closes all the blinds, checks all the rooms, hits a button underneath his desk, and you feel the static field release around the space, and the electric interference that it provides lets you know that you will not be recorded in your conversation here. And so he turns to you all and looks at Mr. Ferryman specifically and says, I take it you were successful? You didn't ruin my establishment for nothing now?
Yes.
Oh, and your small backpack friend is back, as well as and who is this charming individual?
My name is Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need to know about me.
Oh, well, Izzy, that's more than enough that I need to find out everything about you. But in the meantime, do you have what I asked for?
Yeah, let me give you a little secret that only I know.
And
What do you tell him? Do you tell him he's going to die in 2 weeks? Do you tell him he's going to die in 17 years? Do you tell him he's going to die at both times?
Fate, notwithstanding. No, you know what? He's my friend. I'll tell him that fate is up in the air right now.
Hmm.
Things are weird with fate. And it's either going to be 17 years, 14 days, and 6, well, I guess probably like 3 hours now.
Hmm.
And I don't know how, but it's a good long time away. Or if the world is as in flux as it is right now, it could be 2 weeks away. A violent death.
That seems to floor him. The
Sorry.
17 years, the information about the rest of that is something it seems to expect, but the 2 weeks makes him actually put his drink down. And
So think about this. If you're alive in 2 weeks, you'll have 17 more years to live.
oh, wonderful. And how am I supposed to make sure the next 2 weeks aren't, let's say, a living hell?
I'll tell you this. Fate is malleable. You can change it.
How do I die in 2 weeks?
Question rule.
No, that's impossible. Look, the sky literally fell on my building, and the only parts that fell away were the parts I wanted to fall away. All right, we would have been fine. We would have been protected. Nothing could destroy this hotel, unless it's
No, it's fine. If you want to tell a ghost spirit that no, that's not possible, I won't die then. I'm sure that'll work out great for you.
Well,
This
I'm
works
sorry.
out great for everybody in
I'm
fairy
trying to wrap my
tales.
head around my death. All right, it's a process, and all I'm saying, it would take a cataclysmic event to bring my home to its knees like that.
Who said you're in your home?
This is my home.
This hotel is his home.
Right, but who said you'll die in your home?
Yeah, what if you went to the grocery store
Or the shed aquarium?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, there's the Shed Aquarium is a place of vandals and graffiti, and only the most mindless hooligans run there in this day and age. It's still nice to visit for the views, though. I'm not going to the grocery store right now. If
You're going to have to leave sooner or later. And it's going to be in 2 weeks.
This is not the information I was looking for, but he looks at Mr. Ferryman. I do trust that it is right and accurate. If
you asked,
I should not have, and I did. Yes.
I'll ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever little god you believe in, if they wanted to keep you in this realm, what would you be here for?
Well, there's no particular little god that I believe in. I know that their presence matters.
Atheist? In a world of so many gods and atheists?
Trust me, the only thing that I can believe in is that I've got my back. And so...
It's pretty deep.
In the fact that the world might, or my world might end in 2 weeks, or not, I guess I just have to live as if it... I have some stuff to think about, and I will process this information as it goes on. But I also need to know about Marcus Estrada. If I want to do what I need to do, I also need to know, when is he going to die?
2 weeks.
Or Mr. Ferryman?
2 weeks.
Wait.
Or Mr. Ferryman?
Yeah, or Mr. Ferryman?
2 weeks.
No. You say I'm going to die in 2 weeks, and Marcos Estrada is going to die in 2 weeks. But something's missing, because I had another option, and the fates are malleable, and they're often changing. What's to say?
Can you keep a secret? That's a joke. Of course you can.
Yeah. Very funny.
Marcus Estrada's second death date, equally possible, just keeps going up. Get the key to eternal life.
He's going to live forever.
Yeah.
He's going to rule forever.
Unless he dies in 2 weeks.
I have to kill my brother.
Fratricide.
Huh. I think... Well, that makes sense. I always knew it was going to be like this, but I think this puts it a little more concretely. I will help you. I will aid you in your journey. Because if your goal is to kill Marcos, you got 2 weeks to do it. And I've got 2 weeks to live. Maybe if your work gets done, my time gets extended, because sooner or later Marcus is going to find out about us. And I imagine that is what seals my fate. Might as well try and seal his first. Okay. So you need access to the gatehouse. You need to make your way through the path to the Cave of Marnar to complete your pilgrimage or whatever journey you're on. Honestly, I don't get it. Like I said, I don't care. But I will arrange for what you need. Discretion, a time of security, and the ability to move quietly. Tell me when you need to go. And
Now.
Okay.
Are you in my
I just
backpack
want to kill
while
my brother. I'm sorry. We can talk to the rest of the group. I just really need to kill my brother.
Are you in my
Okay.
backpack while you're saying that?
Yes, I'm in your
You
backpack.
never left the
and-
backpack, just
No,
baby
I'm in the
Yodaing the entire time.
Yes, and Ben, Mr. Ferryman asked me to cut holes in it so I could.
His
my
arms
hands
and legs
through
are
it.
out, so he can gesture.
Gestures, yeah.
And so
It's a baby Bjorn.
it's a baby Bjorn now. You're wearing it on the front. And so
Mr.
you guys,
Ferryman DeLorean.
you're chatting, and you discuss it's as soon as possible, and we can kind of sort of expedite this portion. He talks to you and realizes with everything going on, the quickest way and the most effective way would be the gear shift, the guard shift, not this upcoming dawn. But not dawn, but not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, when things have settled just a little bit through this sort of situation, so you guys can then make your way through. And so we can do a little bit of fast forwarding of time as you guys take the next sort of 36 hours or so just to get situated and prepared. Luzon, you rest up. You're able to get back into tip-top shape. Ambo, you spend time, and I mean the umbrellas were amazing. The fact that you took 10 seconds to make them was 9 seconds too long. But you spend some time to refine and make everything else a little more precise. Spend some time honing your hammer, and the rest of you all, I imagine, just get situated and geared up to go about your journey.
I have lunch with Reginald.
Oh, you want to do that right in between this?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you go over to Reginald's home to have. Do you want to roleplay this out? Because I would love to roleplay this out. But
Okay,
also,
yeah,
this
let's
could
do
be
it.
an entire. We could do it 3 hours of just this lunch. Oh, welcome, Izzy. You've come to my home. I'm so delighted.
Reginald, your house is so creepy. How do you keep it like this?
Oh, it's very
Aren't there
easy.
regulations?
The secret is I find only dolls whose eyes follow you. And that has been the answer for all. You see, I call that one Isabella. I call that one Marquez. I call that one.
No.
That one just
you
murmurs
just call that
at
one,
me. It's more
no.
scary.
All right, give me these sandwiches, man. Let's make this quick.
Oh, come on. After 6,000. No, kidding. After, how long has it been since you all saw each
It's
other?
been like 8 months.
After 8 months, that's all you have to say to me. Come, sit down. What brings you to Circuit City, and what are you doing in the underworld, my dear?
Reginald, as you can imagine, I cannot tell you why I'm here. And I won't. You can't pry it out of me, even if we drink all this tequila.
Oh, you'd be surprised how loose you get with a few tequila shots in you. I remember you
Get outta
telling
here.
me about your mother and the fact that she left you at the Circuit City when you were 7 once.
I never talk about my mother.
Oh, you did after 2 margaritas.
Okay. Reginald, you are a demon. Get
Oh.
out.
Mm.
No, but I do like how you've set up all your dolls. It's nice.
Thank you.
The
I
feng
have
shui is nice in
3,067 of them.
here.
And you see all of
Creepy.
their bodies shift and look at you
Ugh.
in that moment as he identifies their number.
Oof.
Now, everyone, relax.
Okay.
Izzy's our friend, and it's going to just
Alright.
be with us for a little bit. I would love if Izzy stayed forever.
All right, Reginald, you and that demon stuff. You know I'm just here for lunch.
Oh, but we could have so much fun.
That's true. Wait, have you been doing any like creepy stuff lately to the people of Circuit City?
I mean, yeah, I'm the main sort of spiritual force for all things folks who disappear and get gobbled up. And I mean,
Oh my
I've got
gosh.
to grow my puppet collection somehow.
Well, I know some people who got gobbled up recently, I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, let me tell you this. Next time you're shepherding spirits or doing anything spiritual work, feel free to use me as your patron. There might be some nice.
Wait, but that means
kickbacks
that they
for you.
would go to hell. You would have their souls forever.
Or I'd have more dolls.
Okay. Well, you know what? If there's anyone whose soul I think is not for God, which is actually some people, then yeah, sure. I'll do a kickback situation.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really, no one's here out of the lack of free will. Everyone's having a blast. Am I right? And all the you hear an assortment of murmurs and disconcerted sort of shiftings from the doll. I said, "Am I right?" And all of them are nod immediately. See, everyone wants to be here.
Spooky. Is this a Toblerone?
Oh, yes. Of course. You know I love...
Do you mind if I munch on this?
Yeah, of course. I brought you
I'm just
one.
to take 3 triangles. That's it.
No, finish
Stop
it.
me if I take more.
I say that, but every time I get naughty and I finish a whole bar.
Well, you are naughty, Reginald.
And you guys have a lovely little lunch party together. And we cut to you getting ready to make your escape out of the Security District 3. So you all have taken the elevator system up 2 levels onto the military police district. And this is where all of the true law and order of Circuit City is sort of conveyed and run. It serves as the barrier between the very ever shrinking sort of comfortable and satiated Corp employees that work on live on floor 4, and the rich elite that exist on floor 2. Of course, they also run and manage the spaceport and most of the governance bodies on the top of Circuit City. But this is their hold. This is where all of them have their power. And of course, it's a little more secure, for lack of a better term. And as you're going back, you all have your gear sort of situated. You've got your coats turned up. You're trying to walk. You all have these lovely black trench coats that you turn up to hide yourself under the acid rain as you make your way.
Our umbrellas, baby.
Your umbrellas. Well, you don't take out your umbrellas just yet because they might notice acid umbrellas are very rare and no one would have a need for them since the city itself is shielded. So to have them might give away your position inside. So I imagine as you guys get situated and you pull forward, you all have done the necessary steps that you need to do, because as you get to the outpost, you go to the door that the valet told you to, and as you pull on it, someone left it unlocked. You walk across, you walk to the other side. It's a 250-foot long hallway that literally connects one doorway. It's like it basically looks, as you walk in, you go in, there's a hallway that extends in front of this door, a 250-foot long hallway, and then another hallway looking like an H on its side as you sort of, or an I. I guess that's an I, right? That's an H on its side. And so you open the door and begin to walk across, and it's empty. It's secure. There are no patrols nearby. The right palms have been greased to make this escape out safe. But you also know that the fact that this window only exists right now for you all and will exist for a brief period of time, 12 hours from now, when you guys need to be back. You know that's going to still be cutting it pretty close, because you have a bit of a journey to go through the wilds. As you push open the door, you see the vegetation and the vines and wires running rampant and wild amongst the actual expanse of, for lack of the unurbanized area, the true raw incorporated, like the true, like and I don't mean that as a pun, but the unincorporated part of the world that you exist in. And it's wasteland. It's all you see are these sort of plants that look to be alive, but are non-existent. They provide no life, no sustenance, and it's just there's no wind even out here. It's silent, save for the rustling and movements of things that are big and heavy further in the fields. And as you look out, you also make your way out and you catch the pathway that you need to take to the Cave of Marnar. It's branching off to your right. This is the spiritual pathway that the pilgrims have been taking for generations. And as you pull out the door and begin to make your way on this path through the forest and these wilds, you hear acid begin to hit the canopy of the metal trees above you, and you take out your umbrellas and begin to journey along the way. You're walking and you're making your way out. It's a few hours and it's a tough slog to get through this stuff. This is a path that once a year folks would go on. So in that, it exists and it is prepared in around that time. But like I said, it's been generations since people have made the pilgrimage to the Cave of Marnar. And in doing so, the path has become not corrupted, but just like difficult to traverse. The vines and the wires around them have interwoven and sort of taken over the path and are covering over it. So how do you, as you guys navigate it, what is it like to cut through this vegetation? What does that look like for the six of y'all?
I think that I am going to download and activate all ghost protocols. I've become like a ghost robot. I have the powers of a ghost, basically.
So you just fully ghost, you Danny Phantom yourself and fully
Phantom.
Yeah.
Just float through the shit.
You're and so like you're like it's not a problem for you. You just kind of make your way out. And I think what could be funny is I'll leave this to you. You also have a sword that can basically cut through anything and everything. Do you use it, or do you just float through all the vines? Like,
I float through all the vines.
You don't even clear any of these paths. You just make your way. Well, Mr. Ferryman's the front.
Some insane dude with no eyelids just floating through vines.
Yeah, I get tangled in the vines because I'm still in his backpack, so I'm stuck in the vine right now. Somebody needs to get me out.
Wait, what did they do in the first Harry Potter book when this happened to them?
What did they do in the first Harry Potter book?
That's not the first Harry Potter book.
Wait, I know what you're talking about. When they go through the door and
there's a platform in 9 3/4. Is that where we're discussing?
No. They're like they pass the dog in the first one, right?
Yes.
And they go through the what?
Oh, and this for the Philosopher's Stone. So yeah, they do the.
And then they get trapped in the vines, right?
Oh, isn't there like doesn't Hermione save them? I think like because they
logic later on. This is different, I think.
No. I think you're right because there's it's not in the movie. This is a book only one, right? This is like one of the things, like the firebolt, the like.
So now we know who didn't read the book.
Guys, we're gonna have to.
I've never seen a movie. Okay, so I'm a book purist. Let's go.
I love this,
Okay.
but this is a tabletop role playing game about Balikbayan. We gotta save this for our podcast discussing the great things about Harry Potter and looking at it through a lens of a turf.
Yeah, what a franchise that's held up well.
Yeah. I like we can do a hard critical analysis. Like, really, what was the deal about the? Do you do you ever think about Cho Chang and how fucked up that was?
I think
her name's Cho Chang. Can we just start there?
It's two last names.
It's two last names.
I amend my thing. I float through the vines, but first I take Harrison out of my baby Bjorn and put him on the ground.
Thank you.
I like the idea
Thank
of you floating through and Harrison just like stops and like falls down. But you take the time to lift this baby Bjorn out. You set him on the ground. And the rest of y'all are using the guide of Mr. Ferryman to be your compass point, your needle direction through this passageway as he shifts his way forward and you slice through these vines and with your various now great tools. And you're...
leader who like stops at yellow lights or goes through them and like leaves you to stop at them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think he's a little out of touch, so not really paying attention to where you guys are, but turning around occasionally and waiting.
And as you're doing that, you're beginning to make decent headway. In fact, you all are making a pathway through that. Little, you begin to recall some of the things that you're seeing along the path from the tales of the pilgrimage. You're beginning to see the particular mountain ridge that denotes a certain distance away, or the importance of this riverbank that once had water in it but now is acid. As you all are moving along the path, you see the vegetation begins to pull away and clear out some of the space more and more, and you get to the base of the mountain that the cave is built into. And this mountain, at a time, it sounds... this is a mountain that has somehow survived years and decades of acid rain. Something in it has allowed it to exist as it's been eaten away, but even still, the new nature, the new ecosystem has affected it. And what used to be smooth, what used to be like rocky ridges and sort of like different outcrops, as you can see due to the passage of time, has now almost made one face of the mountain. In fact, all of it look more like a pyramid than something that is naturally occurring out of the earth. The way the acid has continually streamed down has eaten away at the erosion, and it has become this sort of shape, with a little bit of a natural outpouring, but still it's become smooth due to the acid runoff. And as you all get closer, you see near the entrance to the ramp that leads up into the actual cave, the runoff falls and begins to sort of drift off into man-made acid rivers that have now been formed, and that feed and collect and sort of pool around and cut through the forest. And as you all are standing and looking at this impressive visage, you feel something pull to you from the inside of the cave. You know that is where you need to be. Something is drawing you all there. And as you guys begin to move forward and make your way closer, I think, Little, you clock it first. You feel the earth move underneath your feet as a pulsing of a rhythmic gallop begins to drive, and you sort of sense that canter and that rhythm. As you look down, you see the ripples in the actual acid begin to replicate that sort of frequency as something you clock begins to shift and move the metal vines and leaves. As you all sort of see Little look up and away, you also start to see the shifting and the movement of something massive through the brush, not only from the 11 o'clock position from where you're standing, but also emerge from the 2, from the 4, and from the 7. And as you all begin to push back and center yourself at the center of this clearing in front of the mountain that leads to the Cave of Marnar, crashing through the vines, landing up in the air and down in front of you. First, you see one of 4 creatures. This one, a massive metallic saber-tooth, stalking you all as it gathers claws extending from its mouth as it begins to shine and glint its red infrared eyes, scanning and locking on each one of you. From the other side, you see an enormous, massive silverback metallic gorilla swing from the vines, land on all 4 in front of you guys. Clearly, like 3 times the size a gorilla should be. Standing in front of you with its knuckles, you see electricity running across them as it sort of pounds them in the pavements and roars directly at you. From the back, you see slithering out a massive cobra. Truly the size... you thought at first it was just a wire of a massive vine that was moving, but as it moves and slithers, it gathers up, and you see its actual sides of it begin to furl out, and it gazes you as its fangs descend, and you see its robot tongue stick out, and what appears to be its own acid begins to secrete from its teeth and tongue, dripping and creating little sizzles on the ground around it. And finally, behind you, the last one to emerge, comes crashing out, and it is a gigantic, larger than all 3 of them. First, you see its feet moving up, then its body, its long tail, its spiky metal ridge going up to its massive mandibles and jaw as it bites and snaps in you. And finally, you see its tiny little arms. A Robo T-Rex appears in front of you all, and that is where we're going to leave us this week, as you are surrounded by the terror of the 4 giant robot beasts of the forest. That's going to be where we're going to be. That's where we're going to leave off until our next episode. Just for folks so you know, and I just want to remember, we're taking the Wednesday off because of Thanksgiving. We'll be back the week after that. So be excited to see our resolution to this incredible journey that our group of elementals are on. But before we go, let's do our goodbyes. Erica, would you kick us off? Who are you? Where can folks find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Yeah, my name is Erica. I play Izzy on the internet. You can find me on Instagram at Bebica_says. And what am I up to? Not too much. I'm quarantining, as you should.
Hell yes. I love that answer. Ben, up next.
Hello, I'm Ben Cummings. You can find me at Ben Cummings with 1 M, BENCUMINGS on Instagram and Twitter. I haven't done a fleet yet. Maybe I'll think about doing that this week. So follow me, and if I do a fleet, you could see what I post. It'll be a lot like my Instagram stories.
Can I say, how does that sound any less sus than me saying sus than when he says fleet? I just like...
It doesn't. You guys are the same level.
Okay,
that was
cool.
Exactly equal.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but how about this time when I said sus, like in a...
Even worse. Actually, it was even
cool,
worse.
Cool, we're going to move on. Asra, you want to say goodbyes?
is the imposter.
You're still muted?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Asra. I also don't do too much, but you can see what little I do online on Instagram and Twitter at Kanye__West. That's me.
Awesome. Shu, take us away.
Hello, I am Shu. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and kind of just about everywhere at Hello There Shu, HELLOTHEREXU. I am doing the same thing everyone else is, trying to remember what day it is.
It's hard sometimes. Harrison, up next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Harrison Happen. You can find me on Instagram at Harrison's Happening and on Twitter at Harrison_Happen. Right now, you could catch me also on PSN, play some Apex with me under gamertag Monkey Mud.
Hell yeah.
Also, if any of you knows where to get a PS5, could you please DM me? I will pay you twice the amount. Just please DM me. Thank you.
I mean, yo, for the people in chat, get on. If you've got it, get on it. Make those moves. Because I was going to offer you a kind letter. I can't give you 2 times the price of a PS5, but Harrison can.
We can negotiate it. I don't know. I could do. Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll talk. And then finally, last but not least, Joan.
Hey, this is Joan. You can catch me on Instagram at Saint Joan. And this weekend, I'm just going to be going crazy playing Tetris 99.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we'll just play anonymously. So yeah, let's go play this weekend.
Did I skip you, Shu? You didn't get about? Yeah, I thought so. I was like went around. Cool. And then finally me. Hey y'all, I'm Masood. I've been your GM, narrator, your tour guide into the world of Balikbayan. You can find me online on Instagram and Twitter at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. Yo, come over to the Indoor Recess Crew channel tomorrow. I'm playing Life is Strange, doing a blind playthrough of that game. It's beautiful. It's great. It's also very funny to poke fun at because it's got a lot of funny moments. And then been playing this game Labyrinthine over on Katie May's channel on Friday. Okay, Katie May, it's a procedurally generated maze that you and your friends have to solve and discover, and it is spooky and scary. So come check us out. We'll have a blast. And then you know the normal stuff. Sundays, Rivals of Waterdeep. Tuesdays, Mythic Odysseys of Theros. And then Wednesdays, we're back here for Balikbayan returning home. But yeah, just remember, we'll be off next week. We'll be back the weekend after. You can catch this VOD on YouTube. But yeah, go home. Enjoy your night. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye.
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 And